Good morning, guys. Welcome to another video. It's Mystic here. In today's video, we're going over the patch updates that just got released today for League of Legends. Patch 25.16 just came out this morning. So we're going to go over them with you. And there's a lot of changes. So stick to the end to see all the champions and what's been changed. We'll skip the nitty gritty. We'll go straight to champions. So Brand is the first champion. So the last nerfs is Brand Ultimate. Smothered his flames too much, so we give him a bit more firepower. So his passive has a from 240% to 260% damage to monsters. His Q is 1.5 seconds stun to now 1.75. And his cooldown for his ulti is 110, 100, then 90 to now 190 to 80 seconds. So he's definitely been buffed. So Brand's been buffed in this patch. We'll go to Ghana. His Q Boomerang, his cooldown was 20, 17.5, 15, 12.5 to 10. It's now at 16 seconds, level 1. It's been buffed by 4 seconds to 14.5 to 13 to 11.5 to 10 seconds. So he's level 1 to 3 is definitely where you're going to get the most out of his Q. Earlier, his passive, his total AD ratio now is 110 from 105%. His spawn cooldown was 20 to 7.25 seconds based on your level, of course. It's now at 18 seconds. It's crazy. And we got Jar 4. His armor is being nerfed from 5.2 to 4.6. It's base armor, just so you know. And we've got Killista. Her attack damage is now increased from 4 to 4.25. Her E has an initial ratio from 20% to 65%. That's huge. 65%. So any Killista lovers are going to love this. Her subsequent damage AP ratio is also being increased from 20 to 50%. That's a huge buff on AD growth and E damage scaling increase, Killista. On Lulu, her cooldown has definitely been changed. So it was just a flat 8 seconds. It's now 10, 9.5, 9, then 8.5, then 8 seconds. Her base damage has also been nerfed from 80 to 120, 160, 200, 240 to 70, 110, 150, 190, 230. And her shield has also been nerfed. So her E cooldown increase, damage and shields have decreased. So she's been nerfed. Her shield's also been nerfed too. Then we got Master Yi. His Q now stacks with Kraken, Slayer, and Tomrus. So he's a burst damage. So on his synergy, his Alpha Strike pretty much stacks now. Next we got Mordekaiser. His AD damage bonus has increased. I don't know why. He's already strong as it is, but it has increased from 0% to now 120% bonus AD. So it looks like we're going to need some more armor versus Mordekaiser. Then we've got Morgana. So her W damage has just been adjusted a bit. Her minimum damage was 60. It's now starting at 70. All the way up to 100%. Versus before it was 85% on AP. Her maximum damage has been slightly decreased by the looks of it, starting at 162 to 140 now. That's her W, by the way. And Nautilus, his E damage to monsters has increased. So it used to be 150% on the first hit of the E. It's now up to 285%. Or 285 damage and 50% AP bonus now. So that's pretty good. Armor growth decrease, Q bonus added, AD decrease. So Nocturne got a bit of both. So you can see here with Nocturne, his armor growth is 4.7 to 4.2. Then also you've got his Q bonus, AD, was 20 level 1. It's now 15. Pretty much to level 5 or when you max it out, 55 instead of the 60. So there's a 5 bonus AD difference with Nocturne. And then here we've got Q damage increase W bonus attack speed increase. So I would say it's a bit of a buff. So Q has increased from base 60 to 70. So an extra 10 base damage pretty much throughout the levels. Her W has increased also. So the bonus attack speed was 5 and it's now 15%, up to 35% compared to 25%. Then we got Rek'Sai, bonus AD increase and bug fixes. So there was a few bugs that they fixed that allowed her to fall Q attack. But her base damage is now increased from 58 to 62. The bug fixes were on his Q, no longer falls to deal damage if attacking at the tail end of the buff. The E-tunnel no longer travels to a different location from the tunnel exit, which is good. We got Rel. Her W shield has increased. So the shield was based 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and 30% health. Oh, sorry, decreased. I was looking at that wrong. It's now decreased to 11% based on max health. So same cooldowns, just 11% max health. Next, we got Rumble, which has a pretty big change for your Rumble lovers up there. So just his Q damage has decreased. Q and R QOD improvements and power impacting bug fix. So there's a lot to go through. His Q damage over 3 seconds, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, plus 110% AP. And then you've got your 6, 6.8, 7.6, 8.49, and 9.2 base on max health. Has been the cooldowns have remained the same, but the AP percentage is 110 to now 100%, and the max health is now 6% to 8 compared to before it was 6 to 9.2. So it was a big jump here towards the end. It's now been nerfed pretty much. His burn duration has increased though, from 3 seconds to 3.5. So it does burn longer, even though it burns slightly less based on max HP. No longer occasionally fails to apply full debuff duration. Red team no longer deals delayed damage and or less damage to champions. Debuff no longer checks for targetability before dealing damage. Debuff no longer checks for 700 U proximity to Rumble before dealing damage. So that's his Q. Then his R, his trick rate has decreased from 0.5 to 0.25. Now lasts a full duration across the entire damage zone. Now more rapidly deals damage when initially dropped. Red team no longer deals delayed damage and or less damage to champions. So it's a bit of a buff, bit of a mix with Rumble. So Shaker's passive has been decreased, and his Q damage decreased, but his cooldowns looks like have been increased as well. So Shaker's definitely been nerfed. His Q passive was 30%, it is now 25%. His bonus AD ratio is 65% to now 60%. This is on his Q. His cooldown, it was base 12 seconds, 11.5, 11, 10.5 to 10. It's now 13 seconds, 12.5, 12, 11.5, and 11. So you guys need to know this. That's 1 whole second on his Q. Singe Q has a refresh rate buff. There's also power magically bug fix. So we'll have a look at that. So his Q poison trail. While on red side, Singe no longer deals delayed damage or less damage to champions. His poison refresh rate is from 0.5 to now 0.25. Scion. Whoa, Scion lovers. Big changes here, brothers. Look out. His passive health loss decreased. His E armor shield increased. And R damaged increased. Wow. So his passive health loss per trick was 12.3 to 24.4 based on your level. It's now 2 to 19 based on level. His E reduce armor reduction is from 20% to 25%. Okay. His bonus AD ratio based on travel time is 40 to 80%. Okay. It is now 60 to 120%. That's crazy. So you get an extra 20% off the bat and up to 40% of extra bonus AD on Sion. That's a huge change. So pretty much the longer you go, obviously the stronger it's going to be. Then we got Silas here. So his passive now does bonus damage to monsters. Wow. So we might see a bit more Silas jungles. Monster damage from 100% to now 150% on his passive. Wow. Big change. W attack speed decreased late and cooldown increased. Okay. So on Trundle, his bonus attack speed was 30, 50, 70, 90, 110. It's now 30, 45, 60, 75, 90%. Okay, so bonus attack speed has been decreased. His cooldown is 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. It's now 18. Wow, 2 more seconds they're adding on top. So Trundle's definitely been nerfed, that's for sure. His W, in this case. Then we got Varus has a bit of a change. He's got his Q damage decreased, W damage increased towards the late, E damage decreased, and a few bug fixes. So look at his Q first. His base damage for Q started at 90 and finished at 370. It starts now at 80 and finishes at 360, and you can see the levels in between. His W bonus damage on magic damage, on hit started at 6 and finished at 30. It's now starting at 6 and finishing on 38. Also, you can see the differences in between the levels. His E, Hall of Arrows, starts at 60 up to 220 with 100% bonus AD. It's now starting at 60 but finishing 180 at 90% bonus AD. So it's definitely been nerfed. The more you level up your E, the less damage it does. Bug fix, targets will once again take damage per V-Light stack on them when Varus R spreads to them from the primary target. So that's a bug fix. Then we got Viego. So Viego's attack speed has been decreased from 2.5 to 2.25, which is his base stat. His Q, Blade of the Rune King, damage has been increased. Wow. So from 15 to 25 for the base, up to 75 to 85. Wow, that's a huge change. Critical strike multiplier has been decreased. So 100% to now 75%. His bonus damage to monsters, wow, has been decreased from 15 to 0. His mark minion healing, 15% to 100%. So that's been increased. Mark monster healing, 145 to 125. And mark champion healing, 135 to 150. So there's a few changes here. Definitely, if you're a Viego jungle main, you definitely want to look over these stats to see how it's going to affect you. Then we got Warwick. So Warwick's passive damage has been increased. Wow, from 60 to 65. Sorry, his base. And then his passive, the internal hunger, his bonus on damage was 12 to 46 based on level. It's now 6 to 46 based on level. So at level 1, obviously he's now going to be slightly weaker with his bonus on hit. It's been decreased, but he has been an increase on his base damage. Next, we got Xin Zhao. Base health has been decreased from 640 to 620. His Q, 3 Talon Strike. His flat damage per hit, so this is per hit, was 20, 35, 50, 65, and 80. It is now 15, 30, 45, 60, and 75. So he's definitely been decreased in damage and in health. So definitely nerfed on Xin Zhao. Any Xin Zhao players definitely need to know that. Then we've got Yuumi. So Yuumi Q damage has decreased. Her W shield power and on hit heal has also decreased. So she's been nerfed too. So from 80 to 380, it's now 80 to 355. So the higher she levels up her Q, the less and less it gets. Her W, you and me, heal and shield power starts at 5%, ends at 15. Now starting at 4%, ending at 8%. Wow, that's a huge decrease. And her heal on hit was starting at 3 plus 4% bonus based on AP. Is now 3 to 7 based plus 3% of AP. So a bit of big changes for Yuumi supports there. Then we have Zyra. So Zyra's E cooldown has been decreased, so from 12 seconds to now 11. Her R base was 180, 265, 350. It's now 200, 300, and 400 base damage. So her ulti has been increased. Wow, so she's got definitely increased on her ulti. Definitely a buff there. Items now, we've got experimental hexplate. Overdrive attack speed has been increased from 30% to 50. Overdrive movement speed from 15% to 20%. And Baron. So Baron now has a base health of 11.8 and health per minute is 190. Health generation gained for every minute has been decreased to 0. Okay. The next is just Arena, so we're going to ignore that. So yeah, that's all the changes for League of Legends for patch 25.16. And if you wanted to take your time to come and read it again, one by one, you can definitely check out all the patch notes on League's website. But thanks for tuning in for another video. If you could leave a like and comment, let me guys know what do you think about these new changes.